Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Natalie J Thomas +7. It has been a hot minute, like I haven't posted for a couple of weeks, which obviously I'm going to explain why that's been in this vlog. I hope everybody's fine, I hope you're all well since the last time, I posted and stuff like that. I have to say, guys, thank you very much for the people who have subscribed already, and who've been liking and sharing the posts and stuff. And the following is going up steadily, but it takes time, I suppose. But unless you're one of them lucky ass people who get a big break and somebody puts everybody onto you and you blow up. But that's not me, clearly. But we'll do this, we'll get there. So yeah, this post basically I wanted to explain why I've been missing for the last couple of weeks and stuff. And honestly, it was just because I felt like I needed to pull back from a lot of things in life. I felt for a little while that I was doing too much, and there was a lot going on around me and around my circumstances and stuff like that. So I had to pull back for a little while, just to get my head straight, gather my thoughts and stuff like that. I've been told that the universal credit thing is going to be hitting me very soon, and it's just the effect that it's going to have on me and my family is just not good. So I literally had to just pull back and try and come up with what I'm going to do to make sure that we're going to still be okay. So I've had to spend a lot of time thinking about that, and now I'm literally spending time planning how to make sure that we're okay. So it's going to be a very, 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 very long and hard process, but it can be done, But obviously when I got the initial news and I heard the difference basically of what I will be getting once it kicks in to what I'm getting now, I was just like, how do these people expect me to live? Do you know what I mean? And it kind of got me in a place where I was feeling a bit lost. So I was just like, for a little while I couldn't really see how I was gonna be able to provide and stuff like that. So it sort of started to get me down, and I've spoken in previous vlogs about my suffering with depression and stuff like that, and for a long time I was just like, look, I'm not going to let this get to me, I'm not going to let it make me depressed and stuff like that. And I wouldn't say that I went into depression and stuff, but what I did do was stress. I really did. I started to stress about it, and because of the stress, I found myself not sleeping, hardly, I couldn't really sleep. I couldn't think straight because I wasn't sleeping. I didn't really have an appetite. I wasn't hungry, a lot of the time and stuff like that. A little bit of anxiety and stuff like that. So, I just had to. Luckily, I have a very supportive family. I've spoken to my parents about it, my mum and my dad, and the other day I had a really progressive conversation with my brother as well. So between the three of us, we came up with an idea of how we're gonna tackle this issue. So that's what we're working towards now. The results of that will speak for themselves very, very soon, but I'm not gonna say exactly what the plan is just yet, because it's not the right time to do that. But I will speak on it, and it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. So, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of touch on this whole stress kind of thing as well. It is so weird because obviously me being a person that's been through quite severe depression before, I knew the signs that to look for, to say, okay, you're heading towards an episode of depression or whatever, and I knew the signs and everything. And for a while, although, I kind of ignored them, and I kind of said, nah, it's not really happening. It's not, this is not what's going on. But really and truly, it was, in it. And like when it got to the point where I wasn't sleeping at night and I was up at dumb o'clock trying to you know, figure out how I'm going to get myself out of this situation and stuff like that. It wasn't till that point where I said, okay, there's a problem, and I was able to like sort of reach out to my mum, my brother and my dad and stuff, and thank God that they're so supportive, that they you know, they've really helped me a lot. They've really helped me a lot. So yeah, so, and obviously like it started to affect my day-to-day life as well. Things that I had to do, I wasn't doing it. I wasn't motivated to do it. I just wanted to stay in my bed. Obviously I couldn't because I've got the kids and stuff, but I wanted to stay in bed. I just couldn't be, I wasn't motivated to do really anything, and it's just not a nice place to be in. And I honestly, I just would not wish that on anybody, you know. I wouldn't want anybody to go through it, because the thoughts that kind of start going through your head, you know, I'm not worth it, I'm not, like I'm a burden. That was my main thing. I'm a burden to my family. Like, if this thing like affects me in this way, I'm gonna have to you know, rely on my family and stuff like that. And as a 31 going on 32-year-old woman, you, like, that's not where you want your head to be at. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to be thinking, oh, you know, if you ain't got no food in the house, you're gonna have to call your mum and ask for money and stuff like that. And I just thought, you know what, like, this is really messing with me, like really started to get to me and stuff. Found myself ignoring phone calls and stuff like that, just not wanting to speak to anybody and stuff like that. And people will see me on Facebook and stuff, and then they'll call me like 2 minutes later, and I'm just not going to answer because I just couldn't face talking to anybody and stuff like that. So I kind of just wanted to talk about, you know, to people who may be going through something similar, whatever your circumstances, but, you know, like, you know, stress, anxiety, all of that, I would just say to you, please, like, because it's not even worth it, you know. Once that depression really gets a hold of you, and, you know, you start to think these crazy thoughts, like, you know, maybe like self-harming or suicide, you know, because you never really know what somebody's going through, you know. So if these thoughts do start to creep up on you, or things start to get on top of you, you have to speak to someone. Literally, you have to speak to someone. You have to. I found myself, once I spoke to my mum, I cried a bit and whatever, I felt a lot better, and I felt a lot more optimistic, because it's like, when I'm going through it, there's like a veil over my eyes. So like I can't see properly, I can't think properly, like I can't function properly, you know. And it's like having somebody who's on the outside, who is thinking rationally and is looking at things from a slightly different perspective, having them you know, to having an input on your situation and stuff, it really does help, you know. Like, they can see things a little more clearer than you can, you know. So definitely make sure you reach out to somebody. You know, there is always the option of going to the doctors. I personally didn't go down that route, because I don't feel like my situation is severe enough for me to actually go to the doctors. I feel like once I've got my foot in the door of enhancing my situation and actually getting my plans underway, then all of this feeling of dread and all of that will kind of go away. So I didn't go to the doctors, but I wouldn't say for everybody that's the case. Like, some people, you should go to the doctors, go speak to them, see if maybe you can get some counselling. If you're not sleeping, maybe they can give you something to help you sleep and stuff like that. I mean, I personally haven't ever had any kind of medication for how I'm feeling and stuff, but so I don't really know a lot about it, so you can't really take my word for it when I say go and get medication. You'd have to do your own research into, you know, the effects of it. If you've got, like, for example, if they want to give you something to sleep, help you sleep, but you've got young babies and stuff like that, it probably wouldn't be the best idea for you, because that's another reason why I didn't bother to go, because I can't be sedated, because I have a small baby. I have a few small babies in the house, not to mention the older kids. God forbid if anything happened and I couldn't hear them, do you know what I mean? It's not really worth it for me. So yeah, I don't know. There are options. There's always options, you know. So don't, the worst thing you can do is suffer in silence. Like, that's the worst thing you could allow to happen, suffer in silence, because you don't think rationally when you're in that space. You don't, like, just keep people who you feel like you can trust and who will give you sound advice, you know, who have your best interests at heart. Let them in, basically. That's what my advice is. But so yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about on this vlog. You know, I like I said, I've got a lot of plans for upcoming ventures and stuff like that I need to really get underway now, because, you know, I'm not going to sit down and wait for this you know, universal credit thing to hit me before I actually do something about it. That's never me, you know. And it's so weird as well, because like when one bad thing happens, it's like another bad thing happens, and then another bad thing happens, and it's just it starts to feel like life is really trying to get you. Do you know what I mean? And that's what's happened to me. It's not been just one thing; it's been one thing after another and after another and after another. And it wasn't until I spoke to, you know, it wasn't until I spoke to the people in my life, you know, that things started to sort of turn around, kind of thing. So as much as I like to say, you know, yeah, I'm a strong woman, strong independent woman, mother of 7, single mom, looking after these kids and stuff, to a degree that is the truth. You know, I am. Day to day, it's just me and these kids here. I'm the one that has to get up, you know, look after them, feed them, dress them, clothe them, that's me and stuff. But there's always the element of, you know, family, friends, your partner, whatever, who can help you out as well. You know, you don't have to, like, you're not an island. I mean, the thing is though, there are some people who are literally alone, and thank God that I'm blessed that I have certain people around me, you know, like, even, you know, even, I don't know, people who you didn't really expect to understand, they do understand, you know. And, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it without saying too much, but there's like people in my life who, if I had said what I was going through, I probably wouldn't have gone through the situation, or I probably wouldn't have been so stressed about it, you know, if I had just kind of opened up and said what the issue was and stuff. But for me, it was a thing of, obviously, like, it's when you don't know somebody, like, fully, you know, like, you're not, like, say for example, someone who you've met recently, it's someone who you've met recently or whatever, you know, you're very wary about what parts of your life you kind of let them know about, because obviously you don't want them to get the wrong impression of you, or you don't want them to think that, you know, you're not capable of, you know, taking care of yourself or taking care of your kids and stuff like that. But anyway, like, some people, my point was, people will surprise you, isn't it? Like, people can always surprise you. I'm not saying you must go to a stranger on the street and chat your business. That's not what I'm saying at all. But, you know, you never know. And if you don't, sometimes you've just got to take the chance, kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, basically. I don't know. I'm gonna maybe insert some clips as well of what me and the kids have been up to. So yeah, I haven't been sitting on my bed, like, just doing nothing for the whole 2 weeks. Like, we've been out and about, in it, like, kind of. Like, on Saturday we went to Brighton, which was really nice because the weather was banging. It was really nice for the like a couple of days. We had nice weather, so we went to Brighton. It was me and the kids and my friend and his kids as well, and that was really nice. Actually, we had a good time, even though it was like 9 kids. The kids were so well behaved. Like, it wasn't any trouble at all. His kids are really well behaved. My kids were well behaved. Like, obviously, the Jeremiah for a couple of times. He decided he wanted to run off and stuff, but obviously that's 5-year-olds for you. But yeah, generally overall it was a really nice day. Like I had a really good time. So yeah, that was nice. So I'll probably try and insert some clips from like what we've been doing recently. I'll try and insert the clips in. Another thing I just quickly wanted to touch on as well is for people who don't have depression but know people who do, you've kind of got to take time with them. And I say that because something happened the other day which was so minor, like anybody looking from the outside in would say it was so minor. So something happened to me and then I just blew it out of proportion. Like, and it's not that I blew it out of proportion, but it triggered me. Because of things that have happened before in my life, it triggered me and it affected me in a way that it probably wouldn't have affected somebody else. You know, like I felt really down, really low, really sad for like a whole day and stuff like that. And really and truly it shouldn't have, but it was only because of something that happened in the past, you know, that sort of came back to haunt me, you could say, I guess. And I took it bad, and then I thought to myself, do you know what, yeah, I don't want to make a big deal out of this thing, so let me just, because I felt that for me I was acting a bit off key towards somebody basically, because I felt a bit upset, so I was acting a bit off key, like, you know. So I thought, you know what, let me just explain, you know, what I'm feeling, you know, and then it will sort of make sense. Because if I left it to fester, then all it would do is just, the relationship would just decline. So my point being, people who have been through depression or have been through traumatic events in their life will react differently to different things, like compared to people who haven't really been through anything or haven't been through much, you know. They will react differently, and it may seem like they'll blow up at the smallest thing, or, you know, they'll make a big deal out of something stupid, but that's not always. Some people do, you know. Some people actually do. Some people will just blow up over stupidness because that's just how they are. That's how they're wired. But other people, it's normally a trigger, and there's some kind of trigger that's been let off, basically. And, you know, so my point is kind of try and take time and try and understand and try and decipher what's going on before you retaliate to their behaviour, because that could just save a whole lot of drama, you know. And obviously if you're the person that's been through these situations and something's upset you, you have to kind of try and take the time to think about how it looks to the other person, because they might not understand why you're upset. You know, you might be cussing and then, or ignoring them and but they're over the other side like, what the hell is going on? Like, is this girl crazy or this guy crazy? You feel me? So if you can, to the best of your ability, try to make your feelings clear, make what's going on known, so that they can, you know, either be understanding or not. But if they are understanding, then you've got a good person in your life. If they're not understanding, you understand you need to dash them. So it's as simple as that. But guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I've been yapping for a little while. So yeah, I'll insert the clips and you guys can see what we've been up to. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to hit the bell as well for notifications of when I post. So anytime I post, you will get a notification and you can just run along and watch it. Yeah, don't forget to share as well, because obviously, as I said, we're trying to grow our family here. Not the physical family, but the virtual family. We're trying to grow that family. So I would appreciate it if you guys could share and help me spread awareness of our channel and stuff. So anyway, until next time, guys, you all take care. God bless and stay safe. And we will catch up again very, very soon. Bye. You're so cute.
Mom? Mom? tries to fold the clothes. You just say this to bring them in.
It's recording. It's recording. Hello.
Hello. You enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
Are you happy we came?
Yeah. I can't wait to go to the fun fair.
To the where?
Fun fair.
Yeah, you're gonna vlog it.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna die. I'll just get knocked myself out.
Good luck.
Good God. I'm not a cat. I used to like that. Yeah, film a bit. Should we go in there? Looks kind of babyish though, but I want to look baby. That's just a little bit of the fun fair. The big roller coasters are down there. Yeah. We'll see you when we get there. How do you think these look on Renaya? Do you like it? No? Seriously? Let's try the next one.
My little baby. Oh, look, she's tired.
With these guys, just chilling today. It's so nice and warm, so we had to come out the house, of course.
Speak with clarity.